Hello, today we're talking about how to improve the tax season process.
Awesome. So let's get started with another episode of TaxProTalk or
Hashtag TPT. Okay, so let's get started. Traditional firms have a lot of non-value steps baked into their process. Jim, let's talk about a few of those.
Yeah, I think especially in the finish and file process, let's focus here today. So when you think about that, closing out the return after you've done all the work to interview the client, get the information in, review it internally, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to send that return out for review and collect that 8879 signature. Many firms, traditional firms, are still using a manual process to collect that back and track it. Then when you get that back, oftentimes you're going to e-file that return. You're going to send them an actual copy of the return, send them a copy of the acknowledgement. Many times you're going to bundle up their documents, either electronically or physically, to send them back and return those client documents. Then you're going to create an invoice from the time and billing, send that out, try to collect that check or that payment, get that posted in your system. Oftentimes then you're going to lock that file in your software and let them show that status is completed. That's a lot of non-value steps.
Now, Jim, is that all write up or write down?
Ooh.
Is that valuable, meaningful work?
No. Those are a lot of non-value steps. Clients don't care about it. And again, it's not work that can necessarily be billed, and it certainly lengthens the cycle time for every single individual and business return, and that's not helpful. Again, we're in the production line business, so we need to make that production line as simple and clean as possible. A couple of things. Number one, they don't invoice clients. No, they're going to communicate up front, we estimate your return is going to cost this amount. And you know what that return is going to cost because you've been doing it for 20 years. It's not a surprise.
That's a great point.
They know. They estimate what it's going to cost, and they say we need a payment authorization signed at the beginning of the process with your documents before we get started.
So you're talking about eliminating invoices.
Not only eliminating invoices, but the collection process, the posting process, the tracking, the chasing, and that's a lot of steps right there. But it also helps firms decide who to work on. So if they don't have a payment authorization with the documents, they don't get started. It's that simple. We're going to start working when we get a signed engagement letter and a payment authorization, and then we know we're going to get paid at the point of e-file. And so leading firms will also focus on cleaning up the process. They communicate we will not return documents. We won't send an acknowledgement. Once you sign the 8879 electronically, then you're done unless you hear from us. And if there's a rejection or there's a problem, you'll let them know. Otherwise, they're finished in one step. And so we actually have an article down here in the show notes that we can share, and that has more details, including communication language you can use in your engagement letter, and a payment authorization that you might want to consider adding to eliminate that invoicing, collection, posting process, lots and lots of steps, and try and get that closing process down to one single step to electronically collect that 8879 e-sign, and then know that you're done. Know that the client doesn't have to call you again, check on anything. You've delivered the return. You'll then post the payment with the payment authorization. You'll e-file, you'll collect the ACK, you'll put the ACK in your documents, and you don't have to return the documents, the client documents, because you already told them you're going to shred them.
So Jim, those are all great suggestions. I know I've learned a lot today. If you want more information, do look down below for links to an article that we've provided for you. And until then, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and
see you next time on TaxProTalk or
hashtag TPT.
Thank you for watching Tax Pro Talk, brought to you by Intuit Pro Connect for tax and accounting professionals.
All right, so let's get started. That sounds weird. Right. All right, so let's get started. Traditional, something about traditional.
There?
I feel like it might be too tall.
I don't want you to cut your head off.
I could go back.
There we go. Too short. Over here? Is it?
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
How are we getting started?
Too tall, too short. Too tall?
Okay, so let's get started. Today's traditional firm.
Hang on.
Oh, I had it. That was going to be amazing.
It's gonna be good. It was gonna be a great cut too. They don't care.
I nailed it.
All right. Whatever.
Oh, they are slow walking.
Speed it up.
Okay.
And again. Cut 10.
All right, so let's get started. Traditional. What was the line? I bombed that one, man. That was terrible. They could do a close-up on you, I guess.
Low.
That was brutal.
I hope that recorded. I guess it did.
Here we go. All right.